pleased to be joined this afternoon by the Minister of Health, Seniors and Environment, Minister Jean Atherton, and Dr. Lisa Indar from the Caribbean Public Health Agency, or CARPA, who've joined us in Bermuda. Based on recent concerns raised in the past few months about our beaches and the swimming quality of our water, Dr. Indar has come to Bermuda at our invitation to do a comprehensive and independent testing on our surrounding waters in conjunction and to support the government testing that is taking place over the past couple of months, and you can access on the Ministry of Health's website. The Caribbean Public Health Agency is considered to be the foremost regional public health agency in the Caribbean. And this week, we have benefited from having Dr. Indar and CARPA services to aid us in assessing the waters surrounding Bermuda. We believe that the results of the testing will do a great deal in furthering the confidence for our residents and visitors alike about Bermuda's seawater quality. Also this afternoon, Minister Atherton will take the opportunity to give a brief update regarding steps that have taken place over the past few months to address some of the issues relating to pollutants in our surrounding waters and ultimately that have found their way onto our beaches. I think it is critically important that we invite you, members of the media here today, to disseminate this message to the public and the people who watch TV and listen to the radio, to hear firsthand the measures that government has undertaken and to be kept up to date in regards to this matter. The results will be shared with you as we go forward, and you'll hear we've made tremendous amount of progress as we've tackled this matter from some months ago. So at this point, I'd like to turn it over to Dr. Indar to give an overview of testing and what she's done on the island. I will say in advance of Dr. Indar coming to the podium that the government will release more information once we've had a time to review the full report to the public and the people of Bermuda to understand and accept. Welcome.
Thank you, Premier. Good afternoon, everyone. I bring you warm greetings from Trinidad and Tobago and from the Caribbean Public Health Agency. The Caribbean Public Health Agency is the new single regional public health agency in the Caribbean. Our mission is to provide strategic direction in analyzing, defining, and responding to public health priorities in the Caribbean in order to prevent diseases, promote health, and respond to public health threats and emergencies. CARPA was officially approached by the Director of the Department of Health in Bermuda on June 16, 2014, to conduct an independent study of the water quality of Bermuda's bathing beaches and to verify the reliability of the Department of Health's weekly water quality and results. Given CARPA's mandate to prevent disease, promote health, and respond to public health emergencies, our Executive Director indicated on July 2, 2014 that CARPA would conduct this assessment as well as an assessment of the sampling and analytical methods in order to verify the reliability of the Department of Health's weekly seawater quality results. To verify these results being produced by the Department of Health, CARPA conducted the following measures. We conducted an assessment and a verification of Bermuda's Department of Health sampling and analytical methods to verify their compliance with standard methods. We conducted an independent collection and testing of Bermuda's beach water samples using the same sample locations routinely tested by Bermuda, but using CARPA's equipment, sampling materials, and methods. We also conducted a historical review and analysis of the seawater quality data being produced by the Bermuda Department of Health, as well as the quality checks that were performed. In summary, our findings indicate that their sampling and their testing methods were in compliance with standard methods used for examination of marine water. The sampling plan that's been employed for beaches was adequate to the needs of the department, to determine the risk to human health in accordance with the Environmental Protection Agency, or EPA, guidelines. The laboratory results of the testing that CARPA conducted, as well as the central government laboratory tested, were similar, and they show excellent agreement both in terms of inter-analysis comparisons on selected samples and on overall results for all samples. Our historical review of the geometric means of the sample sites as well as the maximum enterococci counts observed for 2014, showed a general trend analysis that indicated your recreational water was safe or fit for recreational use, again based on US EPA guidelines. In conclusion then, based on the review of Bermuda's Department of Health sampling, our independent laboratory assessment and testing, as well as a comparison of their data, and a review of the historical data, CARFA can infer the following. The results generated by the Department of Health Central Government Laboratory are reliable and are in accordance with standard methods for the examination of marine water. The historical data then generated by the Department of Health demonstrates that generally the bathing beaches of Bermuda meets US EPA requirements for safe recreational use. Thank you for your time.
Minister?
Thank you, Premier. Dr. Indar. I'd like to begin by thanking Dr. Indar and CARPA for their work this past week. We at the Ministry of Health, Seniors and Environment, as the Premier and Dr. Indar indicated, invited CARPA here so that we could have the independent assessment of our water testing facility, our sampling protocols, and our analysis. And it is indeed gratifying that we have CARPA's stamp of approval on our laboratory facility and their endorsement of the quality of our bathing water. But I must state that the ministry remains committed to continuing to monitoring our beaches and ensuring the quality of our water so that our tourists and residents alike can all enjoy swimming at our beaches and be confident about their safety. We will continue to monitor water quality and to post the results of our sampling for public viewing. I'd also like to say that in addition to the water sampling, we would also like to indicate that we are continuing to make sure that the establishments in Hamilton are visited and inspected by a retired health inspector now working with the Corporation of Hamilton on the review of the affluents and monitoring the compliance with the fats, grease, and oil level established by the Corporation of Hamilton. The KEMH was also inspected and meetings were held with the relevant members of the hospital's board. The report of the inspections will be anticipated shortly. And Mr. Premier, I'd like to thank you for your support, and let me again extend my thanks to Dr. Indar and to CARPA for making the time to visit to Bermuda to conduct this review, and to say once again we're committed to make sure that we get this information out and it's available to people on our website, and continue to look forward to seeing the results as they come available to us. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions?
Yes, I have a question for the Premier or the Minister of Health. I hear what you're saying about testing the water quality and monitoring that. Sorry, but it seems to be part of it's not the main issue. It seems, the issue it seems is that pipe that's pumping out raw sewage that washes onto the beach, that scares the tourists and causes the U.S. Consul General to put out these alerts. And I'm trying to get a sense of specifically what is being done to address that pipe.
Thanks, Tarai. Let me specifically address that. I think the people of Bermuda are well aware of the challenge that we've faced since this report started to get into the media in the spring of this year. At that time, government was very quick to act to assess the situation and put in short-term, medium-term, and long-term plans to deal with the challenge. Obviously, we are well aware that it didn't happen overnight, and it's not going to be fixed overnight. This press conference today was to talk about water testing, because with the amount of resources and the regular basis which the government of Bermuda is committed to water testing over the past months, we wanted to make sure that our testing was following proper procedures and that our results were accurate. And so we focused on this today. Specifically in response to your question, the short-term, the medium-term, the long-term plan is in effect. As Minister Atherton just referred to the inspector in town to deal with fog, that was because it became aware to us that there were restaurants, whether knowingly or unknowingly, putting stuff down the drain that shouldn't have gone down there, so we had to heighten the level of supervision in that regard. With the hospital coming online, it helped us with thousands of gallons that was going into the system to make sure it was of the highest quality. That plant appears to be operating effectively. Government has taken measures to discuss with the Corporation of Hamilton how we can improve the pumping station down here on Front Street. we're working through the Ministry of Health and Ministry of Public Works to deal with time-based. So there are a number of different balls that are in the air. And I have to say that would we like the problem to disappear today? Of course we would. It's not going to happen. But we're making significant progress. And I think we can report today to the people of Bermuda and to our visitors that our waters are the pristine environment they would like to be able to go swimming in. And I think people should take the opportunity to take a break from busy summer schedules and get down to the South Shore beaches and enjoy them. Next question.
All right, now, you said that the water conditions were generally EPA acceptable. Define generally, I mean, how often? 1 in 100 times not?
The EPA guidelines for water quality is based on a testing of the number of enterococci or the number of E. coli in the water. Acceptable level of for recreational use has a geometric mean of 35 coliform forming units. When we look at your geometric data, when we look at the geometric mean of your data, at no time over the last year and over the last 5 years have any of your beaches crossed that mean. So we can infer based on that obviously it is not going above the regulatory requirement, the US regulatory requirement.